connect you to the world. We connect you to the vicinity. We are Nigeria Info.
Listen to me. I said this is a real situation and the government has to do something about it.
What are you trying to insinuate? All these people looting Nigeria's money?
This is Nigeria Info, in the heart of Nigeria. 92.3. We are Nigeria Info.
The latest updates, current issues, and lots more on Nigeria Info.
Are you running late and can't make it down to our RSUBEB office to book your commercials? Don't worry, because you can take advantage of our marketing office inside Port Harcourt to book your commercials. It is located at Shop 9 Mediatrix of All Graces Plaza, opposite FIRS Stadium Road, Port Harcourt. You can also call our sales rep on 0817-001-8162. That's 0817-001-8162.
And now, Hard Facts. Hard Facts with Dion.
Hello, good afternoon to you, and welcome to Hard Facts on 90.3 Nigeria Info here in Port Harcourt. I'm Dion. It's another start to another working week. It's a Monday, it's a fine Monday. I hope it's been a good Monday for you so far, and things aren't looking up. I hope you had a fine weekend, and the start to this working week has been a brilliant one for you, and things aren't looking up, considering everything. Welcome once again. From now till 7, we keep the conversation going. Some matters we're going to be discussing on the show today, and you're welcome to join in via the usual platforms. Thank you very much for staying tuned at this time. So let's see. On the show today, I've got side comments coming up, random stories, random thoughts, which will not be discussed now, of course, until later on during the open season segment, which comes up after the major news at 6 p.m. Let's see. Oh, so after that, I do have a rant as well, something in my mind. I'm expressing some thoughts in it, and you're very welcome to express your thoughts and mine all the way till 4 p.m. Pardon me, till 4:30 p.m. today, till 4:30 p.m. Because once again, our friends from Yeek Africa will be in the studio talking about this great initiative that they have and how you can be a part of it. Plans to change the narrative to equip at least 100,000 young persons in the country with skills that can enable them create jobs and even make them employable as well. So, 4:30 p.m. they'll be here till 5 o'clock. At 5 we've got the news update coming up, and after that, let's see. After that, well, we're discussing federal government's grazing routes plan. Grazing routes under Land Use Act, FG only controls FCT, says Falano. You can find that story in the Punch newspaper, but we'll take a look at some part of the story right now, I suppose. Some part of it right now. Just a quick look at the story. Human rights lawyer Femi Falana, SAN, has said under the Land Use Act, the federal government has no control over land outside the federal capital territory in Nigeria. Now, he said this on Channels TV, and in reaction to the committee approved by the president, Muhammadu Buhari, to review 368 grazing routes across 25 states in Nigeria. According to Falana, quote, as far as the law is concerned, the president cannot, with profound respect, be looking for grazing routes in 2021 Nigeria. The Northern Governors Forum, Southern Governors Forum, Yeti Allah, and other stakeholders have come to the conclusion that open grazing is obsolete and no longer relevant. He said the president cannot impose any land policy on states, adding that, quote, the land in every state in Nigeria is vested in the governor on behalf of the people. Under the Land Use Act, the federal government has no control over land in Nigeria outside the FCT, and I think that has to be made very clear. All right, so we'll look at that in the 5 o'clock hour after the news update. I'll be joined by Barrister Festus Oguche for that conversation. Of course, we've got business news, 4 p.m. as well. That takes us at about 6, the conversation with Festus Oguche till 6. We've got the major news at 6 p.m., open season after that until 7. If you've missed out on any matter discussed on the show, I'll take your thoughts at that time, including your thoughts on my side comments as well. So that's it for today. That's today's lineup. If anything changes, you will find out as long as you stay tuned, of course. So let's see. So I'm getting, I see that I'm getting comments via WhatsApp. By the way, I've officially begun today's side comments. So I got a few messages via WhatsApp, and I'm going to read them. Good afternoon, Dio. Please don't forget to play Arsenal Moment. I see something telling me that Arsenal will win the league. Dio, good afternoon. Please, Arsenal Moment. Arsenal Brown. Okay. Well, when the people ask for it, when the people request it, you have to give them what they want. I wasn't going to bore you with it today, but I mean by popular demand. And once again, when the people ask for it, you have to give it to them. What can I do? What can I say, really? You know, I was going to just dive into today's conversation, but I can't help it. If the people are asking for an Arsenal Moment, you have to give it to them. It was a disappointing outing yesterday for the Gunners, no doubt about that. Losing at home to Chelsea at the Emirates 2-0. Definitely not the best performance on the Arsenal side in a very long time. And a disappointing result as well. That 0 points from 2 games played right now, but you just know Arsenal is going to pick it up at some point. Here's the much anticipated and requested Arsenal Moment. And the messages are still coming in. Dear Nigeria Info, we are waiting with rapt attention for the breaking news that for 2 match days, days 1 and 2, Arsenal Football Club has gone down by 2-0 in each of the match days. A concerned listener. Okay, that's fine. Have your fun. Have your fun. It wasn't a good performance, no doubt. But Arsenal will definitely bounce back. All right. So to all the Arsenal fans out there, keep your head up. All right. You know, there's a trying times, that's all they are. We're going to pick things up eventually and start winning games as soon as possible. Alright, so I hope you enjoyed the Arsenal Moment. I'm sure that you did. Everybody loves the Arsenal Moment, actually. Well, that said, let's get on to some other side comments. Okay. I see your messages. Thanks for sending them, but I really must move on right now. Okay. More than 14 shops have been destroyed by fire at T-Junction in Ruma-Olu community in Obiakpo local government area of Rivers State. Our correspondent gathered that the fire incident happened at 2 a.m. this morning. Some affected traders spoke with our correspondent. Here's what the traders had to say. Just a moment.
This shop now you are seeing now is my own shop. This morning, my brother called me, say fire It's burning in our shop, Oroma Hollow Junction, T Junction here. And everything now got burning. Everything got burned. Everything in this shop. Shoe, palms, I used to sell here. Everything got burned.
This morning, they called me that my shop got burned. So when I came here, I saw everything burned to ashes. Well, short, I want the government to help us because we don't have any hope again. I said, shoot, look at how I was sitting. My friends, they came to console me. So that is how we see this morning. I don't know, but the people that came that morning said when they touched the door to break and save some things, that the place was burning. So I don't know the cause of it.
Some of those who assisted in putting out the fire explained what they suspected caused the fire.
What actually happened is that you know how voltage fluctuation can happen all the time. It actually happened this morning at this high tension from here. Potential of as you can see.
All right, whatever it is that caused the fire, I think that I think the River State government should be more aware now more than ever of the need to invest in an effective and efficient fire service in rivers. I think it was recently. The federal government donated some firefighting equipment to River State or something of that nature, and the governor was talking about how, or commending, I think, the persons who presented this firefighting equipment, and talking about how it's good to not politicize things like that. Well, fine, that happened, but what kind of investment has the River State government itself made in the firefighting sector, in the safety sector? What investments really? Do we have functional fire service stations in River State? Do we have, run by the states, I mean? And I know it's easy to say that one government can't do everything. You have to focus on one. We can't focus on flyovers only. I mean, there are many things. The safety of lives is something that every government should focus on every single time. Safety of lives and property. And fighting fires is integral to that, because they're always going to happen. Nobody loves the fire. There's no sensible person loves the fire or likes the fire, but they do happen. The accidents do happen. What plans do we have to effectively fight fires when they do happen? Because inevitably they will happen. So I hope the River State government is going to look into that and invest in the fire service and firefighting in River State. It's very important that the government does that, regardless of what the area of focus is, whether it is flyovers or roads or whatever. We must pay attention to safety as well. It's very important. Every government, every administration must place safety of lives and property as a priority. And fighting fires is crucial, is integral to that. Alright, so what else caught my attention on the news today? I think I came across some interesting items from the bulletin earlier today. 15 more doctor students at Bethel Baptist Secondary School in Chukun local government area of Kaduna State have regained their freedom. A source in the school told Channels TV that the 15 students were released on Sunday after a ransom was paid to the bandits. The kidnappers had on July 5 attacked the school and took away 121 students from their hostels. The government or security agencies are yet to confirm the development, and it's most unfortunate indeed. Most unfortunate. And one wonders what the government is doing. We're just thinking it's only a matter of time before another set of students are kidnapped someplace, and government just keeps quiet about it. And the parents are, and guardians and loved ones are made to languish in pain as they struggle to meet up with ransom demands and payments. It's absolutely obnoxious, really, what's going on. And I do hope, it seems hopeless, but I do hope that they're able to get a grasp of things and figure out a way to address this horrific situation, really, that's ravaging people in the northern part of the country. It's really terrible, but I'm glad these 15 have been released. I hope that the others still with their abductors are released eventually and reunited with their loved ones. It's a most unfortunate situation indeed. IPOB says it has no plan to enforce its weekly sit-at-home order. In a statement, it alleged that it had uncovered the plot by security operatives to disguise as its members and those of ESN to attack traders who come out today to do business. This was part of a document by its Director of Media and Publicity, Imar Powerful, made available to the Punch on Sunday. IPOB noted that it was necessary for the international community to be aware that it had 2 weeks ago suspended its earlier weekly sit-at-home order. The proscribed group says the sit-at-home will only be observed on the days its leader, Nnamdi Kanu, will be making appearances in court. For me, this is... Now, I need to start by saying this. I have no problem with anyone who has any self-determination agenda. So what I say right now, I am not speaking to the self-determination agenda of IPOB or any other group for that matter. I am not speaking to that. I'm addressing a specific matter, and for me it is the disingenuity of the fellow Imar Powerful and other IPOB leaders, I suppose. IPOB saying that it has suspended its weekly sit-at-home order and alleging it had uncovered a plot by security operatives to disguise as its members and those of ESN to attack traders who come out today to do business. You don't need security operatives to disguise to attack traders. IPOB and ESN are doing that effectively already. Why should security operatives help you do what you are doing perfectly already? I mean, the internet and social media is awash with videos of IPOB members, ESN members going about waylaying people, destroying people's property, traumatizing, assaulting, torturing people who defy the sit-at-home order. I mean, you do that on your own perfectly already. I don't think the security operatives need to help you to do that. You know, IPOB is saying international community should be aware. Aware of what? When IPOB and ESN members are destroying people's property, beating people up and torturing them, is the international community aware of that? And in case you're doubting what I'm saying, how about this? This was published by the Vanguard, August 9 this year. Sit at home, IPOB debunks suspension, says it is sacrosanct. I'd like to read something here. The IPOB has debunked the purported suspension of its sit-at-home order in some social media. According to a statement signed by the Media and Publicity Secretary of the group, Imar Powerful urged the general public to disregard it, saying that the sit-at-home order, which will commence tomorrow, is sacrosanct. Now, I'd like to read the statement. The attention of IPOB, ably led by our great leader, blah, 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 has been drawn to the purported suspension of Monday's sit-at-home order issued by leadership of IPOB has been suspended by some section of the media. We wish to remind every Biafran that the sit-at-home order remains sacrosanct on Monday tomorrow. Anybody issuing press statements concerning IPOB sit-at-home order is fake, and any statement without sit-at-home order or any activity of IPOB remains Comrade Imar Powerful, the Media and Publicity Secretary of IPOB. Therefore, every Biafran should disregard every statement that is not from Imam Powerful. We know the situation of those going for exam tomorrow, but our demand is for them to release our leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and our people must understand that Fulani terrorists and co stopped our people school for 3 years during the genocidal war in 1967 to 1970, and it did not kill our people, and this one-day sacrifice for the beliefs of somebody who has sacrificed a lot for our land. So, I mean, you order that even students that should write examinations should not write the exams. Were there security operatives that stop students from going to write exams? You know, and then the last part of the statement here, anybody who ventures, this is the Imam Powerful statement, anybody who ventures to come out tomorrow will regret his or her life. We warn you, tomorrow is a total lockdown in every part of Biafra. I mean, you claim you want to liberate people, and then you are threatening them. Goodness gracious! I mean, it's just completely disingenuous, really. I mean, it's not even averagely intelligent. The whole charade, you know, security operatives will attack. Once again, you're attacking people already. What do you need security operatives to help you attack them for? I want to say, was there anything else that caught my attention today? Oh yeah, Well, as part of efforts to enhance the performance of elected public office holders at the third tier of government, the chairman of Andoni Local Government Council, Erastus Wotu, has presented official cards to the vice chairman of the council and the 11 councillors of the Andoni Legislative Assembly. Speaking during the brief ceremony at the council secretariat, the Andoni Council chairman, Erastus Wotu, said the gesture is in fulfillment of his promise to provide essential work tools for the vice chairman and councillors considering the needs of their office. I'd like to play back the words of the honourable chairman. Let's hear what the honourable chairman had to say about this auspicious occasion of CAR's presentation to deserving executives, I suppose.
When I made the promise that I was going to provide working materials for the legislators and the vice chairman, I discussed it with them. We reached an agreement on how it's to be done. That promise I will fulfill today. I want to urge the councillors and the vice chairman. These are part of your work tools, not just for your status as councillors. You apply it very well, you take care of it. Don't use it recklessly. Please, you manage the cars very properly and drive safely.
I would like to join every well-meaning and deserving Rivers person, the good people of Rivers to the GPRS, and all well-meaning people to join the vice chairman and to join the councillors in thanking profusely. In fact, I wish I had Rapa here so I could tie it and start to dance. Because just sitting down and talking into this microphone is not enough to show my excitement and my overwhelming joy, really, at this wonderful thing that the chairman has done. That other chairman were like this chairman. In fact, this is the chairman of all chairmen. He cars, a whole cars that the chairman bought in his magnanimity. The Chamo, in his magnanimity, has provided cars for the vice chairman and for the councillors. That all good, well-meaning Rivers people and all the sons and daughters of Andoni Local Government Council will come out en masse. Wherever you are right now, just start to dance and sing the praises of our darling chairman for providing these walking tools. Never before has walking tools been provided for vice chairman and councillors in the history of this great nation of ours, let alone in Andoni for that matter. So we all join human beings, living beings all over the world to thank His Excellency the Honourable Chairman once again for this wonderful gesture of providing walking tools, aka cars, for the smooth run. And by the way, I hope the vice chairman and the councillors heard Chamo's statement. I need to play that back again. The last part of it, very, very important. I need to play that part so that they will all hear it very well. Just a moment.
An agreement on how it's to be done. That promise I will fulfill today. I want to urge the councillors and the vice chairman. These are part of your work tools, not just
exactly work tools. It's for work. It's for work.
It's for your status as councillors.
It's not status or status. It's for work.
You apply it very well.
Apply it well. Take care of it.
Don't use it recklessly.
Don't drive wah. We'll be monitoring those vehicles. We'll be monitoring them if there's any scratch on it.
Please, you manage the cars very properly and drive safely.
Use the cars well. By the way, Chairman, thank you once again for this wonderful walking tools gesture. And I think I'll wrap up the side comment on that note. I go for a break now. When I return, today's round comes up. Please stay with us.
Information is a two-way thing. Nigeria Info, it's your turn. Let's talk. Keeping up with political issues and developments around you, only on Nigeria Info.
And now, Hard Facts. Hard Facts with Dayo.
Okay, we actually had Factor 91.3 Nigeria Info and her input Harker time diet. 25 minutes ago before 4 p.m. I'd like to rant for just a bit. There's something in my mind. I'll be expressing some thoughts on it. And you're welcome to express your thoughts of mine all the way till 4 p.m. There's been a lot of talk about all right. Okay, there's been a lot of talk about free education, the free education policy of the River State government, which is not really of the River State government. We do have a free education policy, a national free education policy, at least at basic level. Universal basic education in the country is free, and of course that applies in River State as well. Maybe levels of implementation, of course, may differ from state to state, or implementation that is, but generally the policy on free education at basic level, at least, is a national policy. Once again, that's been implemented throughout the country, including here in River State. But there's been some controversy lately, and maybe not so lately as well, as to whether or not the policy really is real or is being practiced in River State, whether the free education policy really is free. And that's based on reports that principals and head teachers keep levying students and demanding fees from them. You have registration fees when you want to enroll a child, you have examination fees, you have contributions for MACA, you have sanitation money, you have all kinds of monies that they collect from these students. And so once again, the question has always come up intermittently: is it free? Do parents have an obligation? Are there fees that they're required to pay? And I think I discussed this on the show yesterday. On the midday cruise yesterday morning or thereabouts. And I was asking some questions. So today I made some inquiries about this situation. I was unable to get a guest for it, but I made some inquiries regarding the situation, and I came up with some information, and that is the basis of today's rant. So, quite recently, this month, I think it was it last week? Yep, last week, precisely last week on the 17th, there was a circular. The River State Universal Basic Education Board sent out a circular on the 17th of August. And the circular was to supervising directors, principals, head teachers and staff of the River State UBE sector. And the subject of this circular, is ban on illegal fees and charges in schools subsists. Ban on illegal fees and charges in schools subsists. Now here's the content of the circular. The River State UBE Board has been inundated with inquiries about the validity of charges allegedly being imposed by principals and head teachers of schools. The charges are ostensibly for e-affidavit, PTA, examination, security and sundry services. When confronted, those school administrators that the charges are authorized those school administrators claim that the charges are authorized by either the UBE board or the PTA or SBMC or the Umbrella Association of School Heads. The River State UBE board wishes to categorically state that it has not authorized any charges. They remain illegal charges. Any principal, head teacher, or other teacher that charges fees from either learners or co-teachers will be sanctioned in accordance with the public service rules. In the spirit of, quote, education for all is a responsibility of all, the RSUBEB appreciates suitable intervention in the provision of school services by communities, parents, teachers associations, and school-based management committees. However, should any community, PTA or SBMC resolve to provide services to schools where they are located, they need to convey their resolution in writing to the board. Where the board considers the proposed intervention acceptable, it would confirm so in writing with a strong proviso that no learner shall be required to collect or deliver the money on behalf of parents, as collection of such payment is not the responsibility of learners. Refusal, neglect or failure by any community, PTA or SBMC to comply with this procedure shall be considered as the unilateral act of a school administrator, and such administrator shall be sanctioned accordingly. Now, so from that circular, it's very clear. There's no confusion about it. There is no ambiguity about it. Parents are not required, parents or guardians, or the students for that matter, are not required to pay anything to the school. I had some caller on the show yesterday trying to explain some act. Quite frankly, I didn't understand most of what he was saying. But the fact is that parents are not required to make any payment, not enrollment fee, because we hear that when the student or child is to be enrolled, they have to pay some registration fee. Not enrollment fee, not registration fee, not examination fee, not security fee, not any kind of fee. What obligations do parents have to their children? They are to provide them uniforms. And once again, like I said, I made some inquiries. Parents are required to provide their children with uniforms. Now, even with uniforms, in the event that the parent or guardian is unable to provide the uniform for the child cannot be stopped from attending school. The child can wear their house clothes to school. That's in the event. In a circumstance that the parents or guardians cannot even provide uniforms for that child, no principal, no head teacher, no teacher can stop that child from attending classes. The child will be allowed to wear their house clothes to school. So the only obligation that parents have is to provide uniforms for their children and buy them books, textbooks, and of course their notebooks. Government does try to provide certain books, workbooks and the rest of it, but textbooks and notebooks are to be provided by the parents and their uniforms. And that's it. They are not required to make any other payments to the schools. Any such demand is illegal, is fraudulent, and downright criminal. But the question does arise. And it's a fundamental question as well. So, government should provide these things. Government should provide impress, should provide supplies for the school, and all of that. Now, is government meeting up with its own side of things? The answer is no. There are deficiencies there. Impress is not being paid, and that's fine. Now, and school principals and head teachers find themselves in a dilemma. And they should do something about it, yes. But the solution or the answer is not to illegally levy or charge students to pay certain fees, because once again that's criminal. It is not the responsibility of students to make these payments to you. You have options. One of the options is you have PTAs, you have Parents Teachers Associations. You have the SBMCs as well. That's the School-Based Management Committee. You have that. You can talk to the parents, school principals, head teachers. Talk to the parents. Bring them together. Explain the situation to them. Because anything the PTA does is out of their free will. It's not mandatory. They're not mandated by any law to do it. You can talk to the parents in the PTA meetings and explain things to them. This is our situation. This is what we're going through. We need to ensure that the school is clean. We need to pay for security. We need to take care of this. We need to take care of that. We're not getting money from government. We need to sort things out. So, assuming you have 100 teachers, 100 parents, for example, as members of your PTA. All 100 of them may not be active, understandably. If you got 50% of them who are active, and that's fine, tell them, this is our situation. We need this. Now, the parents on their own can then determine to put something together to help the school provide for these things. And even then, such contributions are not to be handed over to the school principal or the head teacher. No, because it doesn't belong to the principal or the head teacher. The PTA should have an account. These monies or contributions will be deposited in that account, and when the school requires anything that the PTA has agreed to help out with, they can source funds from that account and then either provide for the school what the school needs or give the money to the school so the school can procure that thing. But beating students, humiliating students, forcing them to pay these charges or these levies is not just illegal, it's downright criminal. Then again, that's one option, the issue of PTAs or the SBMCs. Now, another thing is this. You keep saying that government is not providing, government is not giving us this, they're not giving us interest, they're not supplying this, they're not supplying that. Okay, fine. So, what have you done as a union? We have the teachers' union. We have the Nigeria Union of Teachers. We have that. What has the NUT done to address these matters? What has NUT done? For me, that's a fundamental question. What have you done? We have the Academic Staff Union, ASU. They're always going on strike. They're always demanding. Does ASU have all that it needs or all that it wants for our universities? Obviously not. But they're always making demands of government. They're always negotiating with government, and as a last resort, they go on strikes, like every reasonable union should. The resident doctors are on strike right now. MD can't say they might go on strike. We're still looking at that situation, maybe not. But unions go on strike every now and then. I don't remember the last time I heard NUT say anything about the implementation of basic education. For example, what is happening to NUT in River State here? If you don't have markers, you don't have notebooks, you don't have chalkboards, or you don't have chalks, or and your facilities are in the dilapidated state, why can't you hold the River State government accountable? Why can't you make demands of the River State government? Why are you tasking people and criminally extorting them? Because that's what you're doing. You're criminally extorting them, principals and head teachers. And I suspect strongly the reason you don't want to hold the River State government accountable for this is because you enjoy extorting the students. You claim you want to buy maca, you claim you want to keep the school clean, you claim you want to pay for security, but you're probably using that money to build upstairs in your village. That's why you're comfortable extorting the students. That's why you're comfortable punishing them or sending them out of school because they haven't paid examination fee. It's criminal, and it's extortion, and it's because you are benefiting from it. That's why you would rather have it that way. Once again, and to government as well, you claim to be operating free education, for crying out loud. So play your own role as well. And this is not political statement. Nobody has sponsored. At least, no, I didn't collect sponsorship money today. I don't know about yesterday, but at least not today, definitely. If you say that it's free education, then provide the materials, provide the teaching aids, provide the interest. Give it to them, for crying out loud. We can't be spending all the money on Julius Berger only. We need to educate children, so that these children tomorrow will set up our own Julius Berger and start building even flyovers better than Julius Berger. But if we don't train our children today, in the next 100 years, we'll still be giving contracts to Julius. No offense to Julius Berger. You guys do a good job. But it's not about you anyway. Play your role. Educate the children, for crying out loud. We're not asking you to put air conditioners in their classrooms. That won't be bad. We're not asking you to buy all of them laptops. That won't be bad. But at least give them a proper education. What are we talking about here? To clean the environment, ensure that their classrooms have ceilings and they have windows and they have chairs to sit on. It's 2021. We're talking about children having chairs to sit on in class. Play your role as government as well. Do what you need to do. Do what has to be done. And teachers, don't hide on that money for MACA. Money they are not giving us. And that's how you are collecting. How can we do now? How can we do now? You are collecting money using to build upstairs in your village. What can we do now? You have the NUT. Task the River State government. Hold them accountable. And if there are problems, if there are deficits or deficiencies, talk to the parents. You have the PTA. On that note, I end my rant. Thanks for listening. I sincerely hope I did not bore you. Any thoughts of mine, let's hear it. Numbers to the same, the lines are open. I'm taking your thoughts till 4:30 p.m. today. A reminder of that. The numbers to call 0817 923 0002, 0817 923 0003, and 0817 923 0007. Those are the numbers to call. We're live on Facebook.com/Nigeria Info PH, and the WhatsApp is on 0809 030 6416. Please keep it brief and straight to the point, and once you call his answer, do endeavor to turn down the volume of your radio set. It's important not to do so, else we cannot have a conversation. Let's see, do I have something here via... Alright, I've got an Andy on the line from Rimo Demai. Hello Andy, welcome, please go on.
Yeah, Dayo, good evening.
Go ahead.
I think you are sponsored, and but my problem is when you're being sponsored, you are saying the truth. That's the problem. When you're being sponsored, you're saying the truth.
Okay.
I stand to be challenged or to be corrected that our present day teachers, they don't have the students at heart. I stand to be corrected, to be challenged anywhere, any day. That in the last time, like before, when we have teachers will be very happy coming to the house of the students to tell the parents, your students are not doing well, your child is not doing well. But what they have in mind is to come to the house and tell the father and the mother, or the father and the mother will go to the house, you have to pay. You have to pay. Okay, what I'm saying is, we know that the government has failed. Yes, we know that. We know that. We can prove that. Any day, anytime, their handwriting is always on the wall. But what can we as individuals help ourselves? Is it Buhari that they are teaching? Is it Buhari's children? Is it your wicked children? But these people, they have decided within themselves that the impoverished, the poor, even as they are seeing themselves as the poor. May the Lord help us. And also, God cannot help us if we don't help ourselves. Thank you very much for bringing up this. God will bless you.
You're welcome, Andy. Good to hear from you. Sammy from Bulama, hi, go ahead.
Okay, so, good evening, sir.
Hello, Sammy, go on.
Good evening, Mr. Governor. I really want to thank you for doing a thorough job on this whole stuff, scenario that's playing out. Incidentally, I am also a teacher, and I teach in one of the community schools. It's very unfortunate that we have a government that doesn't care about education. Yes, you're very correct. Teachers are not supposed to, or the schools are not supposed to task the students. Like in my own case, in my own school, what will simply be is what you advise. We call the school, the parents, the PTA. We discuss with them on the fact that Empress hasn't been coming, and they also know our salary state, no increment, no nothing. So they just need to come in because the school youth, no security, criminals have come into the school, stealing virtually everything. The school is in a dilapidated state. Sorry, I wouldn't want to mention the name.
That's fine, that's fine.
But that whole nonsense idea of free education without interest is malady. I don't know what other name to call it. Secondly, I've always been asking, where are the PTAs? I mean, where are the teachers union?
Yeah.
I've been asking my head teacher, what is happening? Why is it that these so-called union don't talk? Do you know
where's IUT?
A particular amount that is deducted from our salary, which is their monthly,
check-off dues.
But they don't talk. They are just, in fact, the only day I attended one of their meetings with Okrika, I asked them questions that they couldn't give me answers to. They couldn't provide answers. I said, if you, as our spokesperson, are not able to fight the just cause to get our interest, across, to the government. What are you doing there? What are you doing there? You just sit down and collect money. You're not talking. I'm just trying to be as cool as possible.
I appreciate that.
Honestly, I never anticipated this. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been. But my long-term vision is to be a lecturer. So I said, okay, what's available, and I go from there. But it's a pity. If this is what teachers have been suffering over the years, it's pitiable. They are suffering and they are smiling. The government will go on air and say, oh, free education here and there. The children in our school, in this particular area where I teach, we buy food for them. The so-called free food, it was just some weeks ago they started and suddenly they stopped. Children most times come to school hungry. And then to enable them concentrate on the class, on the lectures, on the lessons, you are forced to keep hands to your pocket and provide them something to eat so they can be in the right frame of mind to learn. To cut a long story short, my brother, I'm happy that you mentioned the fact that we have a completely moribund, non-functional teachers union in this state. I don't know about other states, but in my state here, we don't have them. They are they are collecting dues.
That's beyond that.
Even the so-called, I'll ask my head teacher. I said, your so-called head teachers union, how come you people are not talking? You're comfortable with the fact that the so-called teachers union is not talking.
The collective exam fee. Sammy, go to you have for me, but I must move on right now. Thanks for calling in. Barry from Anna George, thanks for waiting. Please go on.
Hello, Dayo.
Hello, Barry. Go ahead.
My name is Barry.
You're welcome. Go ahead.
It's not only the principal that is supposed to be held responsible here. Even the commissioner too is involved. Even the governor too is involved. So it's not only the principal. So whoever sponsored you, I think, they didn't give you, I don't know whether they not.
They didn't give me the complete script.
Yeah, something like that.
All right, Barry. You're welcome. Please go on.
Dayo, good afternoon.
All right, go ahead.
Yes. In fact, let me say I'm a teacher in River State.
Okay.
So at least I have first-hand this thing also concerning what is happening. I wanted to even do a test the other day for you to talk about education and exam in River State. Thank God you talked about it today. At least let me lay foundation to say, first of all, I don't like all this collecting money from students. I have never done it before since I became a teacher. Rather on the contrary, if teachers won't and the school authority won't do, I give prizes to my students first, second, third, until when my responsibility became more than my salary. I'm not doing it again. Presently, we want to write exam. You know that the instruction is that we should write on the board. They will write 3 or 5 statements, 5 objectives. Students will not be given results. It's paining me seriously. I was discussing with students in class. I'm in class. I'm calling you now. I said, students, maybe you could have to organize yourself or tell your parents so that you can this can be third term promotion exam, and you will not have results, something to show your parents what you worked out for. An exam will be self-standard. And I want to do what I did last time again, repeating, by setting the exam by myself, typing it, and giving the steps on my own money. That is what we are seeing. Even state government has not been giving any state subvention. Yes, they will deceive people to say free education, don't collect money. I'm not talking about, we are in the house of Port Harcourt. I'm not talking about my school. We don't have doors. We don't have staff rooms. We don't have chairs. In the house of Port Harcourt, it's not in a chair. I don't want to mention the school. The examination is, I'm not afraid of that.
No, that's okay.
That is what we are passing through. Just like rightly mentioned, the worst case scenario is the dead NUT. Other unions have been going for reasonable or unreasonable strike. We have every reasonability to go for strike. No motivation. Teachers morale dead, even when we are willing to do the work. What is happening? Students want to go home without results, without writing exam. That is the situation we find ourselves in River State. I don't know who River State government is deceiving by coming to same different teachers and doing different things. Nothing is happening in the school. Nothing. No remittances to teachers. To school authorities. They say don't collect anything. Nothing is happening. So, Dayo, please, help us as we are shouting. Just like you said, if the school authority can have a way of meeting the parents, but these parents also, even when they meet them, they will be the ones raising all these false alarms. I saw a student who the parents paid 50,000 for SS2 to go and write work in special center. But they don't have textbook. I caution them every day. I morally talk to them.
I must go for the news right now. The thanks for your contribution as well. It's 4 p.m. A break for the business news, and discussions will continue after. I'm taking your thoughts and my thoughts till 4:30 p.m. today. Do please stay with us. Be right back in a bit.
Set your time on Nigeria Info, the correct time. It's 4 o'clock.
And now the business. And now the business news.
Thanks for staying tuned. Here's the business news. And the Petroleum Products Pricing Regulatory Agency (PPPRA) says negotiations between the federal government and Labour will minimise the effect of subsidy removal upon full deregulation of the sector. A statement by the Executive Secretary, PPPRA, Abdul Qadri Saidu, said petrol price will be adjusted in a way that it will not cause hardship on consumers as the petroleum industry acts signals the full deregulation of the downstream oil sector. And payment giant PayPal said it will this week begin to allow users in Britain to buy, hold and sell cryptocurrency through the online payment platform for the first time. The expansion into the hot digital money trend follows similar moves by the payment giant in the US earlier this year. The US firm said its new service would allow UK-based customers to choose from 4 types of cryptocurrency: Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin and Bitcoin Cash. Meanwhile, Bitcoin broke back above $58,000 today for the first time in 3 months as investors piled back into the cryptocurrency and bargain buying. The unit climbed around 2%, its highest since mid-May, when it began tumbling on a range of issues including China's crackdown on cryptocurrencies and Tesla boss Elon Musk's decision to stop accepting it on concerns about the environmental impact of mining. And oil prices were light crude goes for $65.17 a barrel, Brent goes for $68.26 a barrel. And finally, official exchange rates. A US dollar goes for 410 naira 13 kobo, a pound 558 naira 27 kobo, and a euro exchanges for 478 naira 66 kobo. And that's the business news. Contact our newsroom on 0818 90017. For more stories, visit www.nigeriainfo.fm. Thanks for listening. I'm Adedayo Elusakin. Good evening.
We connect you to the world. We connect you to the vicinity. We are Nigeria Info.
Listen to me. I said this is a real situation and the government has to do something about it. What are you trying to insinuate? All these people looting Nigeria's money?
This is Nigeria Info in the heart of Nigeria. 92.3. We are Nigeria Info.
This is an infomercial on 92.3 Nigeria.
He was so scared to even mention his name. Indeed, there was a state that's from Obina. That speaker is very correct. The teachers don't have the students at heart. All they do is to sell stuff and wait for the salaries at month's end. All right, back to the third night. I got Charles from GRA. Hello, Charles. You're welcome. Go on.
Yeah, Dayo, it's actually a conquered state. The truth is this. I want to be jovial a little bit. I said this in the morning. If we get quality education, then we will go to dance every day when there's either a commissioning or a flag off. So the idea is keep them impoverished. Seize education from them, because education liberates your mind. It makes you enlightened. So it's a deliberate ploy by the government of the day. The previous government, I'm a politician, but I'll tell you, the previous government had a very fine blueprint for education in this state. So if we are following that blueprint, that means that a child that was in primary 1 as at that time would have been in JS3 by now. So if we are following that blueprint, most of the primary schools are there, we are much better than private schools. So this government came into power, stopped the implementation of that blueprint, reverse all efforts made. I can tell you, in my local government or local government, I can count up to 4 model schools that have been overgrown by weeds. Today, 4 model schools that have been overgrown by weeds, local government.
Are the schools in use at all? Charles, are the schools in use at all?
Those schools were not completed.
Oh,
so we're saying that the government should complete them. Some of them, they were not completed. Even the community have now come into community effort and they've been able to complete them and are being used by the community. So the community, what the community does is that they go into the schools, complete those schools, and then make the children start using those schools, because they have to send the children home when those schools are being rebuilt. So I think it's a deliberate play by the government to reverse educational achievements for the state. Nobody dance, nobody dance. So let's try the rapper and the teachers will be dancing. So dance for them, not a problem.
Oh my goodness! Well, I very much hope that that's not the case. You know, I do very much hope so. I do appreciate Charles' concerns though and his apprehension, but I do once again sincerely hope that, and I'd rather believe that that's not the case. Let's see, via WhatsApp. Tachuku Anthony goes, the truth is that corruption has eaten deep into the fiber of our nationhood. Even if something positive is enacted in this regard, the principals and teachers would squander it. Education in Rivers State is sick and needs urgent attention. Gbebula Benucci on Facebook goes, education in Rivers State is dead. The teacher's morale is at its lowest point ever. No future in the job, no promotion, increment, no training, no incentives. Education in Rivers State is at a crossroads. Emeka Ogumba goes, something has nothing to do with your rant unless those schools need flyovers. I keep telling you, the governor is the god of River State. Nobody, I mean no teacher will go on strike. Relish Supremo goes, good afternoon. This issue of extortion of pupils and students of public schools could be likened to criminals who illegally coerce private businesses into paying all manners of fees, only for the state or local government to deny knowing anything of such. The question remains, why hasn't there been any arrest or prosecution of any of those criminals who have declared war on Rivers people doing their legitimate business, if the government is not in the know? Anything other than Julius Berger makes no sense to the wicked-led state government, not even education. Abraham Ifinibe goes down, said it all. Nothing is much in us. I've got Stephen on the line. Hello, Stephen. You're welcome. Please go on.
Yeah, thank you, Dayo. Good evening.
Go ahead, Stephen.
Yeah, I want to say there is nothing like free education in this state, in Rivers State. I have two children who are in crash center. I was surprised, even before they were admitted into that school. We paid money. And do you know the shocking aspect of it is that practical every week 500 naira per each child. Every week 500. Every week 500. Now they are writing an exam. They want to write an exam. We are paying 1,000 naira per each child for the exam they are writing. There is something like free education in this Thank you very much.
You're welcome, Stephen. Back to WhatsApp. Hello, Dyer. Our government has created an enabling environment for survival by extortion. If you can't fit your business model into the extortion system, you won't thrive. Police extort under the threat of arrest or seizing property. Task force extorts under the threat of deflating your tire. Legal and illegal tax collectors extort under the threat of damaging property, etc. Now, schools extort under the pretext of flogging pupils. That's on BOB. The kind of people we are having in positions in offices in this government is quite unfortunate, because all of them are the same. God will help us, and Gozi Williams said that. Good day. I was doing my laundry when the first teacher called. I stopped what I was doing and stood transfixed to the ground. All I want to say is we have the human resources. What we lack is management motivation. Why won't any child know book if that man is their teacher? He spoke flawless grammar. That's some needs in the care. Of course, we've got some fine, teachers out there. We've got lots of fine teachers out there who know exactly what they're doing. Could have been done. Do you know that some teachers' position in River State's head of service list appears as cleaner while they were working as teachers and are receiving pay as cleaners? Reason being that government has refused to do conversion for over 10 years now. Smart from Agri State. Good afternoon, Dart. You're indeed a genuine, one of the best brains in our country. God will help to always keep and protect you. Thank you. All right. Back to the phone lines. I've got Israel on the line. Israel, you're welcome. Please go ahead.
Yeah, good evening, Dario.
All right, go ahead, Israel.
So, Dario, the funny thing about this education of a thing is that, our government know the value of education in our, in a society. And I think what they do is just to pretend as if they don't know what is going. We all know. They are just trying to just, so that people will begin to, when they're educated, they will begin to know the secret, how they have been ruling us. So I think that is one of the things, the tricks they are using. If not, they know. If not, all of them go to school. They go to school, they are graduates, and it's baffling that they didn't take education serious. So, what will help us anyway?
I hope it does. Hello, Mike. You're welcome. Please go ahead.
Good evening.
Hi, go ahead, Mike.
Yeah. Can I speak with that of Anthony Chairman?
No. That's not up for discussion now.
Oh, okay. It's okay.
All right, via WhatsApp, there's no free education in the state because parents pay for everything in schools, which I know that the Ministry of Education officials are aware of it. If not, we would have been hearing them sanctioning the school heads. But I don't blame the schools because the government doesn't give them subventions to run the school. That's some way. Now, as part of the inquiries that I made before this, deciding I was going to do a rant on this matter, there are heads of schools who have been sanctioned. The fact of the matter is that more often than not, parents do not report, or guardians do not report these inadequacies or these criminal activities, because that's what they are really. But in circumstances or in situations where reports have been made, heads of schools have been sanctioned. There are many of them have been made to return the monies that they extorted from the students. Some of them have been removed from their positions, and varying forms of sanctions have been meted out to these erring school heads. So there is punishment for it, actually. Isaac from Elusakin, hello, you're welcome. Go on.
Thank you, Dario. Good afternoon.
You're welcome.
I listened to your rant with keen interest, and I became, interested because I'm also a professional teacher. Dario, even though we teach in the private sector, the public sector used to be the envy of those of us in the private sector. Ironically, a lot of people have said government does not provide this, it does not provide that, it does not provide that. Has anybody wondered what we do also in the private sector in the name of managing schools and also seeing to it that the children are in line and these children also become the envy of the state? Because whether a child goes through the private sector or the public sector, the ultimate is that education has actually been acquired, which is a skill and also a mindset. The truth of the matter about Rivers State government is obvious. One, government is a capitalist state. And under the capitalist system, what is of interest to government is profit. So government is profiting with the subvention they are getting from international bodies like UNDP, UNESCO, and others. The fact is that these monies are not channeled equitably to everybody. And then come to think of it too, before you become a school head, you should be in grade level 13 and above. Administration and skills are taught to these people at different intervals on how to manage school. If they refuse to manage the school very well, it is not necessarily because government is not providing. It could also be a function of the fact that some of them are inexperienced. PTA is only applicable to schools in local area, not also in town. Because I can't imagine when I had a maid who was attending a government secondary school here in Rivers State, there was no time PTA was mentioned. So it's a case of the winner takes it all. That's exactly what is happening in the public sector. But with all the lean resources we have at the private sector, we still try as much as possible to make ends meet, and we also see to it that the children are not exploited. Fees are paid, parents are migrating their children from public schools to private schools, and nobody bothers to even ask what is happening to private schools in Rivers State.
Thanks for your
Not that we bear the brunt. We are the ones that are told not to close down because we have not actually...
Sorry, Isaac, but that's the much that I can take. Thank you very much for calling in. I do have to wrap up this discussion at this time. So, heads of schools and principals, stop this criminal tendency or criminal act of charging and collecting these illegal fees. Parents, there's a problem. You have PTAs or form these PTAs where you can help the schools solve some of the issues they're having. Government, play your role, for crying out loud. For God's sake, do what you're supposed to do as well as government. NUT, what the heck are you guys doing beyond collecting dues from your members and feeding fat and being upstairs in your villages? Do something as well. Engage government. As a last resort, if necessary, go on a strike to ensure the proper things are done. I've got a commercial break right now, after which our friend from YIC Africa will join me in the studio. Do please stay with us.